So guys, Nnamdi Kanu's release is on the horizon, and this very video contains nothing but good news. Welcome to this YouTube channel. In case you're new to this YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe bell below because in this channel, I bring you everything that is trending and everything you need to know regarding Nnamdi Kanu. So Trump has just received an executive summary on Nnamdi Kanu's case, and Trump's executive summary is nothing but good news to the ears of everyone who loves Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In today's video session, I'll be showing you that very executive summary because this very summary comes at a decisive time and a decisive period in which Kanu is preparing his appeal in the Court of Appeal. And this very video session contains also details of Alex Oti's visit to Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison. In fact, there are 3 different video clips I'll be displaying to you here before heading into the executive summary that Trump has just received on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So I'll urge you to stay put and watch these 3 videos as they roll out concurrently. In fact, the first video will be that of Sowore. Sowore had something to say about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's current case. And after watching Sowore's video, we are going to be heading straight to the 2 other videos before heading into Trump's executive summary.
What did we predict to you? That they will do that. Well, I also predicted that it will be the greatest mistake of their life. And now, the people we asked to protest to prevent Nnamdi Kanu from going to jail are all rushing to Sokoto. I want his family members to give me the right to admit people to see him, so that I can be screening them. And I'll tell you the day the judge who sentenced him is going to go to Sokoto. He's going to go beg like Fela was begged in Bama prison for doing what is wrong, if he has not done that already. But if he wants to go, tell him to contact me. I will arrange a safe passage to Sokoto. This was the worst thing they could have done to them. When they were taking him to Sokoto, they thought they would ridicule him. He would be, when he goes to Sokoto, he has turned Sokoto to another Mecca.
Yes, pilgrimage.
That's what we predicted. You know, they don't have sense because they don't have people who can reason in government. And now, look at where we are. You jailed Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is already a celebrity in prison. They said he has already become the president of the prison, but I doubt that is what Nnamdi Kanu wanted. But it must have been conferred on him just by respect, you know. So very soon, you will see that they will, on their own, reverse the most fundamental mistake they ever made regarding Nnamdi Kanu. You can quote me on that.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain to my unborn child or children that there is a man called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who was advocating for good governance, who was also agitating for good governance, something that will benefit everyone in the country, begging the leaders of his own country to put the country in order for the betterment of both rich and poor. They refused. He started going from country to another country in order to find help needed until he went to Kenya. He was brought back home. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Now, people who are making the country not to feel comfortable, people who are making the country to feel unrest, our leaders cannot get them. How do I explain to my unborn children that the people who are making the country not to feel comfortable are within the country Nigeria? They are in Abia State, they are in Imo State, they are in northern states, they are in southern states, they are in everywhere in the country. How do I explain to my unborn child that the federal government of Nigeria cannot get those people? But it was possible and easy for them to go all the way from Kenya and render someone back home. How do I explain to my unborn children this?
Yesterday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu held a private meeting with the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, to discuss the possible release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, who has been in detention for years. The meeting, which took place inside the presidential villa in Abuja, was not a casual visit. It was a serious discussion about peace in the southeast and the future of Nigeria. According to reliable sources, Governor Oti explained clearly to the president why releasing Nnamdi Kanu is very important. He told President Tinubu that keeping Kanu in detention is no longer helping anybody, and instead it is causing more tension and fear in the southeast. Governor Oti reportedly said that if Kanu is released, it will help reduce agitation, calm the region, and allow businesses to grow. Markets will open freely, traders can move safely, and investors will return. He stressed that conversation and peaceful dialogue are the only ways forward, not force. President Tinubu, on his own part, told Governor Oti that the federal government is looking into all the legal and security angles of the case. He said he has been hearing the cry of the people from political leaders, religious groups, traditional rulers, and ordinary Nigerians, all asking for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Though he did not give a final answer yet, those present said the meeting was hopeful and very positive. This discussion is especially important because it comes only a few days after Governor Oti personally traveled to Sokoto to visit Nnamdi Kanu in prison. That visit alone shook the whole country and showed that the governor is serious about bringing peace to the southeast. Now, with this new meeting with Oti and Tinubu, many people believe that the federal government may finally be considering a peaceful solution to one of Nigeria's biggest and most sensitive issues. Governor Oti is indeed fighting strongly behind the scenes. President Tinubu is now listening, and the chance of Nnamdi Kanu gaining his freedom are looking brighter than before. What do you think about this development, my darlings?
So, guys, let's head straight to the executive summary that was sent and received by Donald Trump. And I read Executive Summary to His Excellency Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States of America. The White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, NW, Washington, D.C., 2500. Subjects: Urgent diplomatic appeal on the persecution of Christians in Nigeria and Judeo-Christians in communities in eastern Nigeria, and unlawful detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience and first Christian genocide whistleblower. This executive summary conveys a concise diplomatic appeal regarding the escalating violence against Christians in Nigeria and Judeo-Christians community in Old Eastern Nigeria, and the continued unlawful detention of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. A peaceful and non-violent movement registered in over 120 countries worldwide and established with sole purpose of protecting the lives, land, and cultural identity of the indigenous Igbo people inhabiting this region, of whom 99% in brackets CIRCA identify as Christians across diverse denominations. On 20 June 2021, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was forcibly abducted from Kenya in an act of extraordinary rendition condemned by the Kenyan High Court in brackets petition number E282/2021. The United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention in brackets opinion number 25/2022 declaring his arrest and detention unlawful and politically motivated. Furthermore, on 13 October 2022, the Nigerian Court of Appeal in brackets CA/ABJ/CR/625/2022 ordered his unconditional release despite these binding rulings. The executive arm has remained disobedient to the directives of the court to discharge him. On the 20th November 2025, he was subsequently tried under non-existent (repealed) law on bogus false charges of terrorism and sentenced to life imprisonment as a way to silence his voice and criminalize his legitimate loud voice on state-sponsored Christian genocide. His illegal sentencing stems solely from his role as the foremost Christian genocide whistleblower who is standing on behalf of millions of downtrodden and persecuted Christians, Nigerians. This executive summary respectfully requests urgent U.S. presidential attention and urge Mr. President to launch independent judicial inquiry into the unlawful sentencing or the unlawful life sentencing of 20th November 2025. Support diplomatic pressure for full compliance with the 13 October 2022 Nigerian Court of Appeal judgment declaring the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu on humanitarian, legal, and constitutional grounds. Mr. President, sir, Christians across Nigeria remains profoundly grateful for your timely designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern (CPC). We respectfully urge your administration to consider convening an emergency congregational hearing on Nigeria's continued persecution of the indigenous Igbo Christians through lopsided policies and militarization of the region. This would reinforce America's long-standing commitment to religious freedom, human rights, and the rule of law, values that millions of persecuted Christians in Nigeria look to for hope and protection. This was the executive summary that was sent and received by Donald Trump, and they are urging Trump to act decisively on the illegal execution of judgment by Justice James Omotosho in the Federal High Court. Because Justice James Omotosho had no jurisdiction to sentence Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment, let alone arraigning him before the Federal High Court. Because the Kenyan High Court, as you have seen in this very video, vindicated Nnamdi Kanu. The UN Working Group vindicated Nnamdi Kanu, declaring Nnamdi Kanu's rendition arbitrary. Still yet, Omotosho had the guts and effrontery to go ahead with the execution of judgments on Nnamdi Kanu. Not even an ordinary judgment. He had the mind and boldness to sentence him to life imprisonment. And on that very judgment day, if you watch the video, you will notice that that very judgment that the Omotosho was reading out was handed over to him. He wasn't reading that very judgment as a judgment in which he looked through and decided himself. That very judgment was handed to him. And you can imagine the illegality that has been done and carried out on Nnamdi Kanu, and this is why this executive summary has been sent to Donald Trump to act decisively on this very case regarding Nnamdi Kanu. At this point in time, I'll let you guys tell me what you feel about this in the comment section below. Do well to like this video, do well to share this video, and do well to hit the subscribe button below for more trending updates.